You are tuned to Kennett, Zenith Cablevision. Thank you for watching. It's time for talk. Each evening at this time, Monday through Friday, Rosemary interviews local personalities and others who bring items of interest to this community. Time for Talk is a community betterment service designed to cooperate with our local community betterment program. Tonight, Rosemary takes us by means of portable camera out of our studios and maybe into your neighborhood. And now, it's time for Talk.
We're in the living room of Mrs. Eileen Mobley, who has lived in Kennett for several years. That'd be a safe way to say it, wouldn't it, Ms. Mobley? And you have seen a lot of changes take place. We have been specifically talking with you about the Dixie Park Motel, the sale, the new motel that's coming in. Ms. Mobley, a little bit about the early history of that park as you remember it, or as it has been told to you.
Well, it was Mr. Seeley that owned a farm that included this piece of property, and his house was on the upland of the farm near the railroad, where the railroad is now. And the lower end, where all those beautiful trees are, you know, is the park.
Where the park is
now.
Okay.
It was lower, and it was his woods pasture. And so one 4th of July, somebody decided that'd be a good place to have a picnic. You know, it was shady and nice.
And there was nothing there. It was just a woods lot.
That's all.
Okay.
And so Blair's, Mr. Carl Blair, who had married one of the Seeley girls. And that marriage was right interesting, too.
Do you want to talk about it?
Well, they had some, I don't know, it was Lance Furniture Company or what company, anyhow. They said they'd give a room full of furniture to any couple that would get married on the 4th of July, you know, at the picnic ground.
Ah, okay.
So Mr. Bayer and his bride were married there and got the
room full of furniture.
A room full of furniture.
Did you see it?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I heard about it.
All right. Okay.
And he was one of a family of Mr. Bayer Sr. had a butcher shop. And he had several sons, and I don't remember but one daughter, and she later became Ms. Otley Green, and you might find, she might have some old pictures of that first thing. But anyhow, they had a butcher shop, and all the boys, they could all butcher. And so...
now, was the shop out there?
No, the shop was on the square.
Oh, okay, all right.
But the hogs and the things were out there.
The hogs were at the woods lot. Okay.
And so, anyhow, everybody had such a good time, and they enjoyed that.
Oh, no, you talking about all the townspeople that wanted to turn out?
Yeah, that's right.
And they what? They brought their lunch and just spread
They
out?
brought some lunch, but they expected to get the meat there, because that was what was advertised, was he was barbecuing. And that was what you call pit barbecuing. And they dug a big pit, long trench, and put a chicken wire over it, and they built a fire out to the side, and they put live coals under there. And that was an all-night business, keeping live coals under there. And so the meat was just slowly barbecued, or whatever you called it, and dripped down on that. So it all had a real hickory flavor.
Okay.
Hickory smoke.
So he furnished the meat.
He had meat out there. I think you had to buy it.
Well, I bet so.
But meat was cheaper then, too. But anyhow, it went over so big that they said, well, why don't you do this again sometime? And so he decided, well, he could do it in the summer, you know, all right, without any much protection. But he decided to build a kind of a barn-like building out there. And he had carpenter horses with lumber laid on for tables, and butcher paper for tablecloths.
Did it have a floor? Was it floored?
Well, at first it wasn't. It was sawdust.
Okay.
And then as winter came on, you see why they needed the floor. Then they decided to have a floor because they thought might have a dance out there.
Okay.
And so it was, I think it was every Sunday he had dinner out there. And there really wasn't any special place where you could go out and eat in Kennett. The Rosenwaters ran a restaurant, but I think it was closed on Sunday. The Slicer Hotel had a...
Now, where was the Slicer Hotel?
The Slicer Hotel's down there where the Dollar, across from the Palace.
Okay, all right. Now, I know about the Decker Hotel that's just done.
No, this was on this corner.
Is this older than the Decker Hotel?
Yes, it is across from the Cotton Exchange Bank there.
Okay.
Where that Dollar store is.
Mm-hmm.
And they served old wild meats and things of that sort, you know.
You mean like wild duck or
anything that was in season.
Mm-hmm.
And the drummers nearly all stayed there.
All right, now when you say drummers, you're talking about salesmen.
Yes,
that moved around through the country.
That's the way the stores didn't order their stuff only to these drummers that brought samples and such. Well, anyhow, there was, as I say, the one in really place to go out and eat. People.
So did this?
He kind of started that Sunday.
Blair, did this go over well? Did people go out to eat?
It went out just fine.
And you had barbecue?
Well, no, he had roast beef.
Oh, so he just cooked meals. It was not just barbecue.
Well, that's right. He cooked meals. But anyhow, somebody told him you ought to open it on Saturday night, Saturday afternoon.
You mean Sunday was the only day it was open at this point?
Yeah. And somebody, my husband said it was the Tufts that got it to open it Saturday night and have dances, and then they got to drinking beer. And my husband told him, said, well, you killed your business, because those kind of people will not keep up a business. They'll tear it apart. And the other people, the good people, will quit going.
And is that what happened?
That's what happened. And so I don't think, I don't remember whether they had a fire or what. But anyhow, he couldn't operate it anymore.
Okay.
And it went into other people's hands.
But it was maintained as a park for
It was called Blair's Park.
All right, no, what about...
I don't know when it changed to be Dixie Park unless the people that put that motel in might have changed the name.
Okay, talk to me about what you remember about the park system. Was there another park here? Was that Blair's Park the only park, or was there another one?
We didn't call it a park. It was the fairground, the Duncan County Fairground.
Now, where was that located?
Well, that's where the Jones Park is now. They just changed that.
Okay.
When the Joneses sold it to the county, well, that's the way they wanted it named, see.
Okay.
It wasn't Jones Park before then. It was the Duncan County Fairground Association.
Oh, okay. Now,
and people had, they bought stock in it to keep it going, you know, and I know, I think my brother had 25 dollar stock in it. And all he was a pass to the fair.
Okay, all right. Now, when you speak of your brother, are you talking about Tom Donaldson, who was a sheriff here in this county for years, was he not?
Yes, several times. And
So he had $25 stock in it. Now, I wonder how much the total stock amounted to.
I just don't know, but the stock didn't pay any dividends. The only thing you got was
Passed to the fair.
Passed to the fair.
Okay, now they had a fair. Did they like build the fair each year? What year are we talking about?
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
19...
I used to ride out there, Josephine and I, with Dr. Baldwin. He'd take us out there, and we were supposed to save our money for the fare, for the cab back. They call it a hack.
Okay.
And it was 10 cents.
To get from the fairgrounds to
back to town.
All right. Well,
back to the square. They didn't take you home.
Okay, from the fairgrounds at Jones Park was a dime to get back to the square.
Yeah.
Okay, now, was it a big fair?
It was a whole week, and women canned and preserved and sold and knitted and did everything.
So you had regular entry?
We had a floor, what they called a floor hall, and that's where all that was entered. And farmers, had special cattle or pigs or calf or something, and that was all shown, and horses. And
did you say they had races?
And then they had races. Of course, they were. I don't know.
Were these local people that
were some Dr. Bynes in Harnesville. He had some real good horses. They said, I don't know. Anyhow, they all looked pretty good. And they had a balloon ascension, just an old gray bag that the man spent all day with the fire and the water and gas. I don't know, he was making me what it was. That thing would swell up, and the kids would gather around and everything.
Did you watch this?
Oh, yes. We watched it between times of riding the merry-go-round and stuff like that.
Okay, so he's getting this balloon, but it's a big gray bag.
Yeah, there's not a thing pretty about it.
Okay.
But it was wonderful.
Did he get in and go up?
Oh, yes. He went up. They had a little basket under it.
Okay, did he take riders, or was this...
I don't remember anybody going up. I remember a kid getting a hold of it and nearly getting to go up.
That he didn't really mean to. What kind of horse races are we talking about?
Well, they had...
were there buggies?
There was those little carts.
Buggies?
Yeah. And they were the...
Two-wheel cart.
That's right. And
we had local...
They had colors. They had... The drivers had...
silk, I think.
Yes, and caps. And they also had the jockey races. I mean, horseback. You know.
Oh, just like a regular...
Oh, yes, that's right. We had it all. And so... They had...
and did you know any local people that were jockeys? Or
no,
these people
there was some of the Rays. I didn't know them, but I knew of them. They were small people. You had to be small
to get you around fast.
And so it was quite a local thing.
You've been listening to Ms. Mobley describe what Dixie Park was like in the early 1900s. This is what Dixie Park was like up until the mid part of 1986.
You have been watching Time for Talk. Time for Talk is a community betterment service designed to cooperate with our local community betterment program. Each evening, Monday through Friday at this time, Rosemary interviews local personalities and others who bring items of interest to this community. If you are aware of items of interest, please let us know for possible airing on this program. Time for Talk is brought to you through the cooperation of Kennett Cablevision Incorporated and is produced through the facilities of the Slicer Street Church.